Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. My name is Rantry, and please remember that if you would like a character named after you, leave a comment, tell me what class and what name you would like, and if I can accommodate it with the classes I have that are not already named, I certainly will. I was thinking about the town and the missions. Normally, I cut out all of the town upgrades and how I select the party and how I select what mission I go on. In this video, I think I would show all of that, so if you'd like to skip ahead to where we actually start the mission, then please feel free to do so now. But in the meantime, in between time, we are going to, first of all, talk about the town. So, guild and blacksmith are my priorities right now. I'm late enough game that I've got the sanitarium upgraded enough. We got Demolars in there getting rid of a disease. Always get rid of diseases. It's not expensive. Getting rid of treatment or getting rid of negative quirks and locking in positive quirks is expensive, but sometimes very much worth it. I always upgrade the reduction of cost, and that is still expensive when you've already upgraded it. But I don't worry about disease treatment cost reduction because it's really not that bad. Patient cells is great, but I'm pretty much never going to need to lock in 3 good quirks or remove 3 negative at once. And if I have enough money to do that, then I'm probably not spending my money wisely elsewhere. Speaking of that, every time I go on a mission, I always go to the guild first, and I take the people that I'm taking on that mission, say it was these top 4, and I put them in there one by one and make sure that all of the relevant skills that I actually use, I never use breakthrough, I never use bleed out. I don't think they're very good skills, so I never upgrade them. But all the rest of them, I make sure the relevant skills are all the way upgraded. Then, with the money left over after I've done the guild, I go to the blacksmith, and same thing. I make sure that they are maxed out, and this is much more expensive, by the way, than the guild. I'm dreading this weaponsmith level 4, upgrading everybody to 5/5s here on their weapon and shield or armor, as it were. It's going to be extremely expensive. And so I'm at the point in the game now where most of the guys I have that are high level are 4/4s. I've upgraded pretty much everybody except Tomas, and we will certainly be using him. I'm keeping a few of them semi-low level. This party right here. Oh, by the way, I downloaded an extra mod called the Crusader or the Templar skins, and this is the one actually for the Plague Doctor. I think it looks really good. But I'm keeping this party low level because I do still want one more Crusader, and I just have not gotten lucky and I'm not getting any Crusaders. I do want to level up one more Crusader because I think it's important to know in advance what classes and what parties you want to take into the Darkest Dungeon, or at least have a rough idea. Anyways, so that basically covers the town. So right now I'm basically just waiting on portraits. I need 11 more portraits, and well, I need a few more crests for that as well, but then this will be finished and I can get my skills leveled up to level 5. Over on the blacksmith, I'm waiting on 44 deeds and 49 crests to unlock the last 2 levels of weaponsmithing and armor smithing, and right now I can almost do that, but I don't have quite enough deeds. When you get into a situation like that, you can trade out your heirlooms. So I'm going to click on that, and I need 3 more deeds. So I'm going to... I don't love this system. It's kind of not real intuitive about, is this what I'm trading? Is this what I'm getting? I mean, this is what I'm trading and this is what I'm getting, but sometimes I get that confused. So we need 4 more deeds, and we have plenty of crests right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and trade in. I'm gonna up this until I see 4 deeds here. So I'm gonna trade in 12 crests to get 4 deeds. Crests are the least valuable, by the way. But then that will enable me to unlock one of these levels. So we'll go ahead and check that. Actually, I only need, now I almost did my math wrong, and I do this all the time when I'm trading in heirlooms. I almost got my math wrong. I only need 3 crests because I already have 41. I need 44. That makes 43, or that makes 3. So if I click on that, I got 44. This immediately unlocks. I can close this, and I can choose whether armor smithing or weapon smithing is more valuable, and I can go ahead and upgrade the blacksmith to that. I'm gonna take weapon smithing. I think doing extra damage is more important because it kills targets quicker, which functionally negates incoming damage. So to me, damage dealt is more important than damage absorbed, but that is certainly a debatable point. All right, so that's about it, all I wanted to talk about with the town. Let's go over to the quests. Now, this is a good example, and I wanted to do it on this mission because I don't have any good quests. I don't want to do any of these quests. None of them benefit me in a meaningful way that aren't extra risky to take on. For example, I could go here and completely smash it with a level 4 and 2 level 3s. Radiant mode will let me take the higher level guys into a lower level dungeon. Regular mode, Stygian mode won't let you do that, but Radiant mode will, and it's to reduce the grind. It does make the game easier, but I think that the lower levels being easier is okay because the game really doesn't get hard until you get into these champion level dungeons. But I'm waiting on these bottom 3 really to get a low level crusader and then take this party into a probably veteran level dungeon so I can level up, like super fast level up the crusader. Anyways, so the apprentice does nothing for me, and if I move on up the tiers to veteran, I've got 2 bosses. I've got the necromancer, which I could certainly kill, but I've already got this trinket and I don't need busts. I find it fairly useless to have duplicate trinkets. Now I can sell this. This is a very rare trinket, so I can sell it for money, which is fine, and I may do that. I have not decided which of these dungeons I'm gonna do. We also have the Sunken Cruise. Sunken Cruise quite a bit harder. Not a hard boss, but harder than the Necromancer. Necromancer's the easiest boss in the game. And if I had not gotten the Blasphemous Vial a couple of dungeons ago, this would be an incredibly good mission for me to take right now. However, I already have the Blasphemous Vial. Another one probably wouldn't hurt just in case I lost one or something, but I'm just not that concerned. And again, it's very rare. I could sell it, whatever, get 6 crests. So this is actually probably a better dungeon because I get 4 busts. I miss out on 1 crest, and the boss is easier. Then we got this other veteran level. When I look at this, I think, okay, it's a long. That'll probably give me a lot of money. It's worth quite a bit of gold. So this isn't a bad option. The Cove is not the most difficult place in the world. This trinket means nothing to me, so it's just extra gold stacked on top. So this actually isn't a bad option if I just want to increase my gold, which I know I will need to do those especially do those blacksmith upgrades for all my level 6s to get everybody to 5/5s here instead of 4/4s. So that takes care of our veteran quests. Now, I don't even really want to look at the champion levels yet. I know I've done a couple of champion level dungeons, but the risk versus reward when you don't have 5s here and when you don't have your skills leveled up to 5s here, you can easily lose characters that you've invested a lot of time and money into on these champion level dungeons. Even if you play everything right, even if you don't make mistakes, the RNG will inevitably give you a string of crits coming in from the enemy that could more or less in a less than a round take down a jester or a plague doctor or any squishy character that does a lot of damage, like the grave robber or the highwayman or the houndmaster. All of these are fairly squishy characters, especially the jester. So I don't want to lose my jester or my grave robber to a champion level dungeon, and I don't have champion level gear or skills yet. So these I don't particularly want to look at unless I absolutely have to. However, this is a fantastic trinket. Plus 5 to crit, plus 15 to damage for just 10% stress is a very good trinket. I've got two options actually for this Ancestor's Pin, over here in the Cove and over here in the Warrens. I'd look between these two and I'd say, okay, Cove is probably easier than the Warrens, at least for me. And so I'd look over here and then I see this. It's a long. Not only is it a champion, it's a long champion. It's only explore, so if I had a lot of scouting in the Cove, I could probably avoid damage in here and grab this trinket up. But it's just, I mean, I play somewhat risky sometimes, but it's just the risk versus reward is not there for me. So this is a good mission to take, but not if I don't have my blacksmith and guild upgraded. So the rest of these, tough ring, don't care, and it's not worth, unless there's a really good trinket, it's not even worth trying champion level dungeons. Like, you need a reason to go there. Now the gold is more. If you're really gold starved and you've got some high level guys that you're confident with your team comp, yeah, absolutely go for champion level dungeons. Even if the trinket's not great. Book of Sanity, negative 20 stress, I'm probably never going to use that. So these, this is a medium. This is a medium, but all of these trinkets are very mediocre, to say the least, except the Ancestor's Pin, which is fantastic. Not fantastic, but high level. I mean, high tier, pretty good item. But they're both longs. And anytime you see an Ancestor's item, it's going to be a long champion dungeon. That's how you get ancestral items. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us with probably the crew or the necromancer. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have another sacred scroll, unless in case I lose it. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have another blasphemous vial in case I lose it. I happen to know I have a lot of characters with a lot of quirks that benefit them in the ruins, and so I think I'm going to pick the necromancer. So we're gonna go kill the veteran level necromancer. Now, who do I take there? I could take my level 6s, I could take my level 5s, which I have a lot of, and I probably will have to take some level 5s. These guys who I'm kind of sort of leaving low level in case I need to level up some other, well, mainly a crusader when I finally get one. Could take these. Normally, veteran dungeons are restricted to levels 3 and 4, so these guys would all be viable for this level. And I just feel weird, even though it's Radiant, I feel weird taking like a whole party of level 5s, which I'm probably getting ready to do, but it feels weird, like, I know these guys are technically over leveled for the way the game was originally, you know, balanced, and but it's Radiant mode, I'm trying to test it out, so I think that I'm not going to worry about that. What I am going to worry about is quirks. First and foremost, Crusader, always great selection. They get bonus damage to undead. And in the ruins, a lot of things are undead. I've got Unholy Slayer and Ruined Scrounger on Renaud. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even if he was a level 3, I would take him just because of his good quirks in the ruins. Also, I've got Warrior of Light locked in, which is fantastic because I'm doing a light run. He doesn't have anything that would hinder him in the ruins, so probably going to be taking Renaud. Next up, we need a healer. I'm probably not going to go all the way up into level 6, which leaves Monsieur. Nothing particularly great. Oh, we probably need to get rid of this on her, actually. So we'll keep in mind that Monsieur needs to go to the sanitarium. All right, Faunero and Bertrand. There we go. Ruined Scrounger. That's great. And we've got this one's good in the Weald. So Faunero. Now this is gonna push her into level 5. So I'm gonna be stuck with Bertrand for my healer when I want to level up any lower level characters. But She's got the quirk. She's going in. All right, so now I've got my tank-ish and my healer-ish. I want to look for damage and stun, basically. And when I think of stun, I want to go straight for the Plague Doctor. We've got Lacey, and we've got... Do we have another Plague Doctor? Do I only have one Plague Doctor? I only have one Plague Doctor. I could have sworn I had a second Plague Doctor. Maybe not. Well, in that case, I might want to think about picking up a second Plague Doctor. None are here. Vestals, I mean, it's always good to pick up extra Vestals when you can, but I'm not going to right now. I've only got one slot left. I could, you know, this is not a hard, oh wait, where is it? 20D, yeah, I'm probably gonna leave my party at 20, so I'm more or less stuck with what I want. I could get rid of my occultist. As much as I hate to say it, I could maybe get rid of the bounty hunter. I could maybe get rid of her, except for I've invested a lot of money into her because she's got the good I don't know. My mod. Oh, this guy. This is a Plague Doctor. I got the mod that makes him look different, and so I was like, what? I didn't register him as a trade or as a Plague Doctor. He does have Ruins Tactician. That's not bad. Do we really need a stunner in the ruins, though? I'm half inclined to say no. So then we're basically just left going through the rest of our level 5s and looking for anything here that says ruins, you know, bonus to the ruins, and anything here that detracts from the ruins. So I'm just gonna, now we've got our bounty hunter who's an unholy hater. That's good. That's definitely an option. Nothing that would prevent me from taking him into the ruins there. Our occultist is a ruins adventurer and an unholy slayer, which is great, but man, he's getting his disease cured right now. We got an unholy hater here, and a clotter, which is really good. Yeah, Fitzroy and Stuffy would be good. We got another ruins explorer, unholy slayer. I mean, if we don't just absolutely murder this quest, I'll be surprised. She's got 2 quirks for the ruins, so that's almost a no-brainer for that Hellion. She can work really well as a damage dealer, or kind of a frontline tank. Nobody else seems to have anything. We do have Dismas here that has an unholy hater. And he's very low level 5, so we might want to be thinking about getting some EXP on him, some levels. Fitzroy is also very low though, so unholy hater plus 15 damage, unholy hater plus 15 damage. With this comp, the Highwayman and the Grave Robber are sort of interchangeable because their best skills are their lungy skills with Duelist Advance and with, lunge. So it's kind of a toss-up which one I would want to take. I like Grave Robbers better. They're probably my favorite class. None of our Houndmasters have anything now. But I mean, Dismas is fine, and he kind of is buddies with Renauld. So, and I believe this only moves him forward 1. This is important to notice because, oh, we got a class, the Hellhounds. That's cool. I'm gonna put my Hellion in front because Iron Swan only works from the front, and most of Dismas' stuff, or Renault's stuff, works from the front 2 spots. However, Holy Lance works from the back 2 spots. His speed's 2, Dismas' speed is 6. So I'm going to open with Dismas, Duelist Advancing, move him forward, and then Holy Lance with Renauld here, and then Wicked Slice works from the third spot too. So Dismas pretty good here. Nobody bleeds in the ruins anyway. So I think this is gonna be my party. The Crimson Hand. I've used them before, I believe. So not a bad party. So let's talk about trinkets. Pretty much standard. I don't start switching it up too much until I get into the champion levels, and even then I don't switch it up that much. So we're gonna take a Sun Ring, and she's gonna be our, well, it's between her and Dismas who's gonna be our main damage dealer. I think I only have one Unholy Slayer ring. Do I even... Oh, did that get stolen? Did that get stolen by the... or no, I never had one. I never had one on this playthrough. Okay. So she can have a Sun Ring, and let's see what else. Normally I'd put a whatever kind of enemy we're going against Slayer ring. Manslayers is not bad. I could start with that. Sun, and we'll actually use Renauld as a stunner, so we'll give him a stun trinket and some damage. Dismas is going to be straight damage. I would love to get an Unholy Slayer ring. We do want to make sure that he goes first. Moon ring, meh. Oh, Dismas's head got stolen as well. That's interesting. But I'm really not too concerned about that. Plus 2 crit, plus 5%. Some crit, man, maybe. Nah. Minus 1 speed. Don't want to give him that. Well, we know what we're going to give our Vestal. We're going to give her the Chirurgeon's Charm and the Sacred Scroll, just straight healing. So here, I could do speed. I do like giving the Swift Cloak to people. He will definitely go, well, not definitely, but he will likely go first and be able to lunge forward, then allowing Renauld to do his Holy Lance and take down the back line, then putting Renauld in the second spot again after he Holy Lances, then to be able to stun. That's in a perfect world, at least. So, Manslayer, I mean, you run into a fair amount of men in the ruins, so I think this is probably okay for my trinket itemization. So, yeah, I think we are ready to embark, and we'll go ahead. And this is usually where I start recording. I've done all of that, and so now I can record. We're going to go ahead and kill the Necromancer. Now, first of all, I need to think about the Necromancer. He's going to be in the back a lot. So this Unholy Lance and Lunge combo is actually going to be quite effective. I say Lunge because of the Grave Robber's ability, but it's Duelist Advance, whatever. Alright, so I generally take a stack and a half of food on any medium mission, a stack and a half of torches. Ruins don't have too many blockages, so 2 shovels is probably fine, but I don't want to get screwed, so I take an extra. There is a fair amount of bleed here in the ruins. Not a lot of blight. So I'm going to take a few bandages. I'm going to take some holy water for curio interactions. I'm going to take 1 extra. Medicinal herbs. I'm trying to think of the curios that are in the ruins. I don't know if I need too many medicinal herbs. However, I am going to take some extra keys. Some for regular chests and for secret rooms especially. But the ruins tend to have more things, more curios that can interact with keys than the other areas. So I think that we are good. We're going to go ahead and embark for the Necromancer.
I entertained a delegation of experts from overseas, eager to plumb the depths of their knowledge and share with them certain techniques and alchemical processes I had found to yield wondrous and terrifying results. Having learned all I could from my visiting guests, I murdered them as they slept.
A devil walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
I love that story Of all of the boss stories, it's probably my favorite. He hires a bunch of necromancers to come and teach him stuff, then kills them, then uses the stuff they taught him to bring them back to life. But now this is interesting because the boss is always in the room furthest away from you. And oh, you know what? I do have somebody did request to be named, so we'll go ahead and name our Hellion because she's here. Buxton, Buxton or Buxton, either way. There you go. We got our Hellion named Buxton. Let's see. I believe I got a new skin as well. There we go. That's a new skin I downloaded. And there's also a Templar skin that I downloaded, but I don't think it's for a select few character classes. So since the Hellion has got her red on, we'll see if we can make everybody red. Go with the stock standard, probably. I like that red cape or red coat. That's fine. And of course, the Hellion or the Vestal making a red. There we go. All right, everybody's matchy now, kind of. The boss is always in the furthest room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be in either one of these. I'm tempted to go down here and get this treasure first. But the goal of the dungeon is to get the boss. And we may just go... I'll probably make a beeline for the boss. And then we will see if we have the energy, time, and inclination to come back. Okay. You can pause and read that letter if you would like. I don't want you looting stuff. Let's let the highwayman loot stuff. That's kind of his MO. Almost walked into a trap. All right, onward and upward. No battle in here. Go forward to the curio room battle. Don't care about a bookshelf. Get the trap. And we get that light back up above 75 so we can benefit from our sun rings. See what the ruins have in store for us. Oh! Wow, look at that Hellion skin. When she's in battle, it gets all kinds of crazy, eldritch, as it will. Alright, Duelist Advance can hit the back line, so we want to mitigate stress damage, so bam. Riposte is activated, you can also hit the back line with that, so bam.
Destroyed.
And then Holy Lance will go right for the Bone Spearman, who's probably the next biggest threat. And now we have Renauld here to stun. So that is all good. We will do some damage here just because it might kill. It definitely won't kill here. Don't bump me in the night. That's a really cool Hellion skin. You can find those on the Steam Workshop, of course. Let's go ahead and just get the kill. That's a lot of damage to be putting into him for the kill, but
Annihilate.
I gotta quit thinking like that. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna do 30,000 damage and he's only got 1 health left. It's still mitigating incoming damage. All right. See if we can get a stun off here with the Hellion, or with the Vestal, just because nobody really needs to be healed. Didn't work. We'll try again with the Crusader, who should get it. He's got the stun trinkets on, and he absolutely does. Mitigate damage again, coming in. Wicked Slice. And, yeah, we'll go ahead and top the Hellion off. And Wicked Hack there.
Their formation is broken.
Maintain the offensive.
And I believe this is almost always a positive and it relieves stress, so let's try it. Heals. That's fine. And relieved a little stress. Alright, no scout. We do get
Even
a
the
blockage.
cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Get a hunger ping. No problem. Iron Maiden, herbs can work on that. But I didn't bring any herbs. Because I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget it. I just... It seems to me like the Iron Maidens aren't usually very good. But I may be justifying my mistake after the fact. I'm not sure which. Alright, got a battle coming up. Want that torch high. And we're just gonna dump damage into the ghoul and or stuns. Depending on order of opportunity. He does have quite a bit of health. Do 4 to 8 with a bleed of 3 points for 3 rounds. That's 9 extra. Or we could do 7 to 12. I think the straight damage is better in this situation. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, actually, since he's likely to live for a few rounds. Of course, Duelist Advance. And we'll, of course, Holy Lance. This should do good damage. Not bad. Do we still need to heal? I would like to maybe go for the stun. You know, as often as I use Vestals for stunning, I should really consider swapping out that Chirurgeon's Charm for a stun trinket. Alright, kill the ghoul. Good crit. Reduce a little bit of stress. See what our stress like. 9, 10, 15, 1. That's okay that you're back here because I want you to get rid of some of your stress. That's the downside of having a Duelist Advance set up like that. You got stun resist, so let's just do the damage. Let's top off the Hellion. The downside of kind of relying on that Holy Lance is that if he gets stuck back here when there's no enemies in the back line, you're kind of screwed. Alright, onward. But I kind of like to use dancing parties, or I think that's another name for parties that switch places a lot. Medicinal herbs, I believe, would work there. Also, a torch would help my light situation, but I'm not really too concerned about that.
Glittering gold.
You can certainly read about Cuthbert and Nazir by pausing if you would like. We'll likely drop one of those scrolls soon enough. Alright, we've got a fight coming up, so let's make sure our torch is over 75%. And fight some double courtier, which is actually really good for our Iron Swan. We got a lot of backline damage with this party, which I approve of.
Obliterated.
Now Holy Lance should be able to attack here, and then we probably won't Duelist Advance again because we want Renaud to stay there. We could go for a stun on... This guy does a lot more damage than the guy with the bat. So good stun. Bumping me in the night. It's gonna dump damage into the biggest threat, or stun him when we can.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
One of the mistakes that I see, and not like I don't make any mistakes, I make tons of mistakes all the time, but one mistake that I do see fairly often is people spreading damage. And I'm sure I'm guilty of that mistake as well. But in general, you want to focus down targets and not spread your damage as much as possible. Bap!
Another abomination.
Love that Hellion.
From our lands.
One thing I did not go over during the intro to this whole part is, do I want to duelist advance here? Because then it's gonna, I'm not stressed enough to duelist advance, if that makes sense. I didn't go over camping skills, and oftentimes I just make sure that I have the essential camping skills that I really want unlocked on every character, and a lot of them come with default decent camping skills unlocked. And then once I get up into, again, the champion levels is when I start worrying about that more. I'm gonna ditch the herbs because I'm probably not gonna keep those long enough to go back to the maiden. We're definitely gonna take the jade, and we're probably gonna dump the jade. You know what? We're gonna come back. Give me a scout. Show me where the necromancer is. Down here? Yeah. And no fights on the way, so we're gonna come back here on the way back, and we're probably gonna clear out. We may go ahead and clear out the rest of this dungeon. Now, pride goeth before the fall, as they say. But since there's no battles here, we're going to go ahead and camp. Pride goeth before the fall, but I expect this necromancer to be quite easy. Nobody's hurt that bad, but I do want to get the stress off of them just because it makes me feel better. And we do have enough food to deal with one more hunger check. Okay, so Hellion has great camping skills as well. Sharpened Spear, so that's 3. A Battle Trance is another 3. Only if in position 1, she almost always is, so that's going to be 6 of our 12 to spend. The Zealous Speech isn't bad, it's very expensive for what it is. Clean Guns is good, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we got 2 more to spend. Oh, we do want to do a Sanctuary, but I don't want to give up the buffs. I don't want to give up the buffs for Sanctuary. So we will do Sharpened Spear, we will do Battle Trance, we will do Clean Guns, and then we've got 2 left. Let's see what we can do besides Wound Care and Encourage. Nothing. So does anybody need anything? Nope, we're gonna go ahead and rest. Waste those 2 points. Things are going according to plan. I am ready for battle, let them come, and other things were said that night.
As the light gains purchase,
alright, we're gonna come back for that chest. Later days. Let the highwayman do his thing. He is the rogue, as it were. So he better get to disarm some traps. And I'm starting to get better at using my keyboard instead of just always using the mouse. Oh, that was a mistake. As I say that, let's find some things to kill. Well, Renaud, have I got a treat for you.
Towering, fierce.
He's romancing necks. Somebody stop him. Oh man, he's fast. Dang. That's surprising. I actually do want him to be in the back. And he has low bleed resistance. Does he have 2 turns? Do I want to start stacking the bleeds or do I want to just do damage? Let's check it out. 13 to 23 is pretty high. 8 to 15 plus 9, even if that did max damage and the bleed went through, it would be 1 more than just straight damage on 1 turn. So we're gonna go with the Wicked Hack. Almost max damage there, it's great. Of course, we're gonna Duelist Advance here. We're gonna hope that, yeah, so that's unfortunate.
The light, the promise of safety.
Want to use Holy Lance on him, that's why we want him back here, actually. We will, I don't need to heal yet. Dump a little damage in him. Again, as far as the normal game would be concerned, I'm over leveled for this dungeon, so it's much easier than really it should be. Actually gonna use Pistol Shot because we can reach him with that. I could advance here, but then she'll go out of the first position, and her buff is for if in position 1, so we want to keep her there really. So we will go ahead and use Pistol Shot. that is why I have it. And if it bleeds, sure. I want him kind of in the back row, but we can Holy Lance now, which is great. This should do quite a bit of damage. 17, not bad, not amazing. Gonna have to stun that guy to get the ward off. While I take a drink, excuse me. Gonna attempt to stun the guard off here, and it does not work. All right, now we can Iron Swan him at least. We could Duelist Advance as well, but yeah, this guard is not good. I'm gonna go ahead and do this just because it might get this guy low and or kill him, but I don't have a stun I can do right now. You know what, I could, I'm gonna Tracking Shot to buff my damage next time. And see if we can get this, the Hellion, or the Vessel's gonna have to stun. We're just gonna have to kill this guy probably. I want to attack the Necromancer, but he's guarded, obviously. There we go. Okay, we got the guard off of him. Wasted almost a round in doing that. I probably should have Duelist Advance there just so that I could use whatchamacallit. I'm gonna stun here because I don't want to kill those guys and bring the Necromancer forward again because I want to use Iron Swan. 21. Gosh, I love Iron Swan. But what I don't know if I made it clear, but what I was saying is if I would have lunged last time, even though he was guarded, it would have set up the Holy Lance. But now we can Duelist Advance. When I say lunge, I mean Duelist Advance, and when I say Holy Lance, I mean Death to the Necromancer. I was really hoping that would kill.
As the fiend
Alright, good
falls,
riposte.
a faint
Can't
hope
Iron Swan
blossoms.
again, but he's close enough to death that it's not gonna matter that much. Heal up our Crusader a little bit. He's taking a little bit of damage there. We're gonna go ahead and try and get the bleed again here. We do, and yeah, he'll be dead next turn. No problem. So I can actually start stress healing with my Crusader. And stunning. And healing with the Vestal. Because this fight is won.
Even reanimated bones can fall. Even the dead.
Now I want to take
can
this guy
die
out.
again.
Because he'll go down the quickest. This guy will go down the quickest, and he still does pretty good damage. I'm not going to Duelist Advance, though, so we'll just put some damage into here. I know I say you never want to split your damage, but right now I'm trying to stall so I can get healing and stress healing, and I couldn't attack this guy, so... I mean, sometimes you split your damage if you're doing it kind of on purpose. I do want to kill this guy. You're still stunned. I could have yopped. Probably could have, should have, would have yopped him. Let's get rid of some stress. 14, 17 is the highest. And we're probably just gonna... Yeah, we're probably just gonna maintain the status quo with both of these guys here. They don't do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm just doing that kind of to toy around because I want to reduce some stress. The two Bone Guardians don't do a whole lot of damage. So I can kind of afford to spend a few rounds here just, you know, kind of half-heartedly attempting to stun them once in a while to prevent some extra damage and getting some healing and some stress healing in. So this is really just the recovery phase of the fight. You're still guarded. You're gonna get a crit 3. I'm using that ability because it doesn't do hardly any damage. And I know she's, well, she got a stun off even though he had a bonus, but It's not super likely that she'll stun with that. But I'm, again, just doing it so that we can stall this fight out. Alright, everybody's back up to full health. Everybody's in single digit stress, so go here and let's reduce that down even further. Now I'm ready to kill these guys.
A singular strike.
Her damage is in the ground now, as it were. Ooh, big crit. That is the danger of stalling like that. Meh,
Victory, but a victory nonetheless.
I mean, I guess I'll take the uncommon and probably ditch it as soon as possible. Alright, Necromancer down, just like we knew he would be, but now we've got a little bit more dungeon to explore. 2 more treasure rooms, probably going to go here and wander all the way back here, unless I get the dreaded hunger ping. And if I get another hunger ping, I will probably peace out of this dungeon. In the door you go. Yup.
Wealth beyond
Lots of
measure.
busted crests want.
Awarded to the
It's
brave
the least
and
valuable thing we
foolhardy
have. We
alike.
know we can get back without any blockages. I will probably peek my head in here, but yeah, not a lot of blockages, and those shouldn't show up. So I'm gonna ditch the shovels. I'm going to ditch, what else? The bandages. I'm gonna ditch the. I may have some curio interactions with that. In fact, I maybe should have kept the. Oh, I didn't need to. Dang it. Should have clicked on the take all button before I started just getting rid of stuff willy-nilly. That's okay. We need the space. 1,000 gold
Waiting
just
to
for
be
walking
spent.
down a hall. Super worth. Now this I can use holy water on. I'm not sure what it does, so sure, Hellion, you look brave. Relieves the hero. Oh, stress heal. Great. We can go backwards, but that might give us a little bit of extra stress, honestly. Oh, the hunger tile. All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't want to risk the stress of getting another hunger check. So that's gonna do it. I should bring more food maybe sometimes, especially to boss battles, because I always want to do more of the dungeon. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Necromancer. Check out our spoils. Not too bad. Total of about, 12,000 gold there. Got quite a bit of crests, quite a bit of busts actually. Not that I need busts, but that's fine. Reynold got syphilis. Good. Don't know how he got that wandering in ruins. Maybe he's got a thing going on with Buxton. I don't know. Or 4-0. What did this replace? Beast Hater? I'd rather have Beast Hater probably, but Ruins Adventurer? Sure. Replace Tinkerer? That's great. Ooh, negative bleed resist. That's not great. Ooh, Satanophobia. Lots of these bad. Lots of these are not. Lots of these bad. That's how I talk. That's what I meant to say.
In time, you will know the
All right,
tragic
disease cured
extent of my
scurvy.
failings.
Let's go ahead and unequip all the trinkets. I do want to go to the sanitarium and get Wait, did you not cure? Okay, they did not cure both of Moore's diseases. So, oh, we want Renault tapeworm. Yep, 1,300, no problem. Renault syphilis, no problem. Now, let's see. We had somebody get Satanophobia and somebody else get something bad. Let's see. I also took into that dungeon Dismas. He got anemic. We probably want to get rid of that. And I also took 4-0. Satanophobia. I want to get rid of that. So satanophobia and bleed. Let's see how much it's going to cost, though. Satanophobia, 1,300. Okay, so curing a non-locked-in bad quirk is really not that expensive. Especially, let's see, do we want to lock in any of these things? Not really. None of these quirks are good enough to lock in, but get rid of those negative ones. Make sure you do that after removing the trinkets, because they can lose trinkets sometimes when they're in. Usually it's just if they're gambling, but they can lose trinkets. Do we have a Crusader? No, we don't. That is unfortunate. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps out a great deal. Thank you for watching. My name is Rantry, and I will see you next time on Darkest Dungeon.